two fellas come up to me and say something only a gamer buddy of mine would know to say to me. A code name, a little word or two, something we spend hours doing. And I'm looking at two fellas. One of them is Colton, and the other one is Jordan Peele.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Do you remember this day, Colton?
I do, totally, yeah. Yeah. He was the one he spotted you. He goes, hey, man, I think that's the guy we've been playing video games with.
Yes.
Jordan Peele played video games?
Yeah, he was one of our...
yeah, for sure.
He was in the group in the beginning. He also dropped off pretty quick.
Because I was living on his couch, so he didn't have a choice. There was
God bless him.
Once we were spacemen.
I tend to play weird people, usually aliens and robots and things that don't have romance.
I once didn't get a job where they were looking for a Nathan Fillion type. Once we were spacemen.
Once we were spacemen.
Alan.
Hey, buddy.
We met Colton online.
Yes, when we were dating. Wait, different Colton. Different Colton. This was online gaming.
Right. So if you were a kid, the kid you were when you were like 11 to 12, 13 years old, yes. and the future Alan said to you, in the future, you'll be able to play these wild video games with massive maps and online with your friends and be chatting in your, like everybody and you'll meet people in there, in this virtual space, and you'll become friends in real life. Doesn't that sound like the future?
It certainly does.
There's tremendous value in having a text thread of 25 odd addresses on there and just go, in 15 minutes, I'm going to be on, I'm going to be playing for an hour. And then a bunch of guys jump on and now you're chatting about your day and how things are going. But Colton is somebody we met online and then started hanging out with IRL.
Which stands for irregular bowel syndrome. No, what's the L? Irritable bowel. Long form.
It sounds like you're farther away.
All right. Oh.
In real life, Al.
Got it.
So
in real life, we hung out. Yes.
Yeah. His journey is like, he was kind of getting his start around the time. Well, you'd already kind of gotten your start. You had an earlier start. He and I moved out to Los Angeles about the same time, about 1997. So we both arrived in town at the same time. It's just been really fun to watch a friend succeed in the way that Colton has succeeded.
Yeah. You guys got to meet him.
Let's do that.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Once We Were Spacemen. And as I look around this spaceship, I see nothing but a sausage fest. That's right. Man. It is so many spacemen. It kind of stinks. It's just a little extra temperature in the air. It's like a compost heap on a hot sunny day. It stinks. Listen, I need to go wash myself with Nathan Fillion and Alan Tudyk. Oh, that was awful. I don't know what happened.
That was disturbing a little bit. It was unpleasant.
I got everybody pictured 3 dicks, and then there was the smell.
Not everybody, dude. Not everybody was picturing.
Not 2 is our max.
Honey, God. Ladies and gentlemen, Colton Dunn. You may know him. Do people still call you dope?
Yeah.
There's a group of people, I'm sure. Listen, I literally have a sticky note stuck to my iPad. I'm holding it up here with Colton's name on it, so I don't call him by his gamer tag. And I don't know if anybody out there is like me, but maybe you have a group of friends that you know by their super secret name. I guess it's like having superhero friends. And whenever I'm with these buddies in particular, and I'm talking about them or talking to them to someone who is outside the gamer community, I always have to pause before I say someone's name because I don't know their real name very well.
Yeah. And it'll make them sound like they might be a weird person.
Yes.
You're like,
Well,
what does this guy do? This guy's name is Psycho Vandal.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So that's it. But so this is actually where Colton and Alan and I met, was
That's right.
online through the gamer community.
Yes.
Do you remember the year?
It was
Colton?
Pong. It was early. It was an early game of it was online Pong.
It was Halo. It was a Halo game.
Yeah.
It was Halo.
Halo.
And it was online.
Mm-hmm.
And it was we were playing with Jason Sudeikis.
Name drop.
Oh yeah.
That's the
And-
fella I met at a dinner who said, "Oh, you play Halo?" And then we exchanged gamer tags, and then he introduced me and Alan to this whole community of guys, and then he promptly quit playing. And now I'm still with this community of guys.
He's the guy who's like, here, the first one's free. And then
He's like,
you
later,
know,
nerds.
years later, you've got an addiction that you can't ever.
I'm trying
can't
to
get that
remember
monkey
the
off your
year.
back.
It's
I know.
close to 20 years ago.
Yep.
I was still in Venice.
Yeah, you were definitely still in Venice.
It has to be. So this would have to be. I mean, you know, when which Halo was that? Halo 2?
I want to say either 2 or 3. I know I was playing on a tube TV.
I think it was
This was before I got a plasma TV.
Because 2 sucked
So-
so badly. Personally, my personal opinion. But 3 weeks. That was when
Three is when
the
it really turned it up, right?
yeah they like
And that
they
would
went
be 2007.
wow.
Okay, that
sounds
sounds
right.
So this is
accurate.
around 2007, 2006.
So
Yeah.
that's 20 years.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, that was wild. We'd be playing with all those young people, and Sudeikis would be on there, and he's like, "Man, LeBron was taking too much time with that sketch," and these kids are like, "What? I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry." Are you talking when you say LeBron? I feel like I only know one LeBron.
Colton, no, you weren't an LA native. You started your beginnings were very normal.
Well, they were.
Were you not born in Normal, Illinois?
Oh, yes, I see what you're saying. I see.
You were
Yeah,
born
sure,
in
I did that.
Normal?
I was born in Normal, Illinois. Yeah, the same
I've
place
been
where they
to
built
Normal.
Rivians.
Oh yeah.
Ooh,
You've been
The
there,
same
right?
place they
outside
build
of
Rivians.
Bloomington, Illinois. Yeah.
The first movie I ever did, it was an independent movie that went to Sundance called 35 Miles from Normal. And the writer had grown up in Normal, and it was about Normal, Illinois. It was a coming
Did
of
you
age
meet
story.
a young lady named Carrie there.
I did not.
Oh, okay.
but you didn't spend much time in Normal.
Random.
You were not normal for very long. You moved to St. Paul.
That's right. St.
The
Paul,
second
Minnesota.
movie I did
What is
was with a guy named Paul who was very saintly. It all comes back to me. Sorry,
Oh,
keep
man.
going. I'll stop interrupting.
Yeah, let's talk about this.
I want to know what is a young Colton like? What
Oh,
is
man.
he the problematic brat that Alan Tudyk was tagging
Stubbs.
Stubbs?
It was my tagger name back in the day.
Stubbs.
What was young Colton like?
Don't mean to brag, but Stubbs.
Gee. Boy, Gigs was my tag. I would write Gigs. Short for
Cool.
giggles. I like just to make jokes and be goofy and silly.
Were you a good student?
No, no.
Were you a class clown?
Oh, 100%.
Did you get sent
Nice.
to the principal's office, or did the teachers like shake their head and go, "Oh, Colton," and laugh?
I got sent to the principal's office. You know, I went to high school with Nick Swartzen.
Oh, really?
I don't know if you guys have met Nick before,
Yeah,
but he's
he's a
also
comedian.
he's a goofball, very goofy. So just imagine two very young, very goofy dudes.
Yeah.
You know, we would like. I mean, you know, the games, if I tried to explain it now, you'd just be like, those are so stupid. And that was like the purpose of it. But it would be like, we would stand at the top of staircases and dump salt out when people would be walking up the stairs and be like, ha, 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 you guys got salted.
Jesus.
They were assaulted.
Yeah, but it would just be like little things of salt.
Wow.
But the best thing about being in the theater program in that high school with Nick was that we got to leave school while school is happening to go do shows at other high schools.
What?
Were you good? Is that why? Because was that just part of the program? They farm you out.
No, man. I mean, that was like the program of that school is that we they wrote a show and then that would go to the different schools in the district and perform the show.
What was it that drew you to it? Did you enjoy performing? Did you like making people laugh? Were you?
Oh, I love making people laugh, man. It's the best.
Were you an attention seeker kind of kid?
I love laughing. I mean, that's more,
You do, yeah.
I just am chasing my own enjoyment of laughing.
Yeah, man. And so you got to leave school. You got to leave the confines of school to go play.
I mean, look. The first thing I ever did was when it was before high school. I was in junior high, and my mom was like, I wanted to play basketball. I was like, I'm going to be Michael Jordan. And my mom knew it was like, this guy's not Michael Jordan. You should go, she's like, you should go try to do this play. This could be fun to do. And so she signed me up for this thing called Stepping Stone Theater. It was like some youth theater. And I, went in, I did like some audition and they were like, oh yeah, we like you. We're going to cast you as this character in this play. And I got cast in Aesop's Fables, a musical circus.
I did something like that. Wow, keep going. Sorry. Yes. Not to bring it back to me. But
I played a guy named Eggy the Clown, and Eggy had to juggle. So I learned how to juggle for this part. There's no Aesop's Fables, by the way, with Eggy the Clown.
I don't remember that one.
I was like, there was a tortoise. There were all these other characters that were real characters from the Aesop universe.
I played the hare.
And I was this fucking clown that juggled. So I don't know what's going on.
Were they
what was the moral of that
we got to throw
story?
Colton a bone and we're out of animals
Maybe,
and
we're out
learning.
of parts. Eggy the Clown, he juggles eggs.
Was there a moral? Like, was it a fable? Was there a moral to Eggy?
It was a number of different fables. It was like a big mashup, those old Saturday morning cartoons.
Don't count your eggies before they hatch. Folks, that's mine.
Hey now.
Thanks. Is that the end of the show? Do I get to plug anything before we sign off?
No, that's a wrap. Well done.
Wow.
We did fabulous. Was it the Fabulous Fable Factory? Was there music? Did you sing? Was there singing?
Oh, there was singing. Oh yeah. No, I mean, this has got to be. I'm sure that there's a number of these versions that they do for young youth performers, and they, but the point, the thing was that the show was great, and I loved being the clown, and it was fun, and I put on clown makeup. But my favorite thing, and the thing I've always remembered to this day, I remember it, is sitting on the bus, like leaving school and getting on a bus and taking it downtown by myself in junior high and going to downtown St. Paul and like watching all the people going to work and being like, this is it. This is all I want to do is be leaving that and just doing whatever this is.
Cool.
That was the best. That was the genesis
dream
of
was
that. And I've
hatched.
just been fighting to do that, to just keep doing it.
So what then pulls you out of St. Paul? What was the next step? Was Chicago next step?
No.
New York.
It was New York. I went to. I took a trip to New York with a couple of buddies who I worked at the movie theater with, and we went out there, and we're like, just wanted to like smoke weed and listen to hip hop in Brooklyn. It'd be like, finally, because we're from Minnesota. And I went to a show. I went to see the Upright Citizens Brigade show.
Wow.
They were just, at the time, they were just doing like a sketch show. They were just like a sketch group, right? But dude, this sketch show was so funny, and I had been doing improv and stuff in Minnesota, and I thought I was pretty funny, and when you're young, you think everything else sucks. but this shit was like so cool. Like these guys were like cool and they were doing comedy and it was funny. And I was like,
Was this like
awesome.
Amy Poehler and all those guys?
It's Amy Poehler, Ian Roberts, Matt Walsh, Matt Besser.
We drop a lot of names in this conversation. This one covers the rest of the episode.
Oh, wow.
The four of them doing a sketch show.
The OG.
And it's the funniest fucking shit. And so then I leave and go back and I have to go to college because I had scholarship. So I'm going to go back and I go to college and I'm working at the movie theater and going to college. And I wanted to do film. That was
your major?
This is the film? Late 90s. Well, no, I had to major in because I didn't have had something to do with the scholarship and I didn't have the right grade. So I had to I didn't pick a major yet or something. I had to get a couple other things done. I'd take this math class and I had
son of a bitch
these other things, but I wanted to do film because it's late 90s. Everybody's a filmmaker, right? And so I wanted to do film and they were like, yeah, we got a film program. But then when I got to the class, I was like, so tell me about the film program to the teacher. And he's like, oh, well, there's no hands-on stuff. We're not gonna be shooting anything. We just watch. We're gonna watch, first we're gonna watch The Graduate and then we're gonna talk about it. Cool. And I was like, oh shit. And so I'm in college for 2 weeks and I'm in that math class that they're making me take, because I have, such horrible math scores in high school. And the math class was just go in. They gave me a piece of paper.
Abacus. Oh,
yeah, they gave me an abacus and a bucket of fish. I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do. Sheet of paper with equations on it. And I'm like halfway through, I just was like sitting there in this, at the University of Minnesota, no shame to them, beautiful university. I was sitting there in this classroom and, I just watched, the Upright Citizens Brigade do a show. All I want to do is comedy. Why am I doing this? And I got up and I walked out of college and I moved shortly after that.
Wow. So wait, late 90s, you were in New York or Chicago?
Late 90s. I'm in New York City, baby. Lower East Side. I'm working at a video store.
What video store?
A video store called Two Boots Video next to Two Boots Pizza.
Oh, no shit. Did it have one of those late 90s? Did it have one of those a set of Western doors and behind those doors were porno movies?
The adult
That's
video?
what they called them. The porns.
Well, I think they at one point they did have some adult section, but maybe they got rid of it because we had a room that was called the Den of Sin. That for a while I did try to do open mic stand-up shows in. And there was, and I ran another video store. I worked at another video store, TLA Video. This is later in the 2000s. But they at that place, I was in charge of the straight porn section. So I got an extra bump of like 45 cents an hour.
Wow.
To maintain.
Starts off as a bump, but it'll
to wipe down the cases.
Yeah. Well, here's what people did.
What?
Maybe you guys probably don't know this because you guys never went into those rooms, obviously. But what would happen is people would go in with box cutters and they would cut out the naked pictures of women on the back of a porn box. And so you'd go in and you'd see little pieces of paper on the floor. You'd be like, oh no. And then you pick up a box. And so it would just be, imagine the front of the porn box is usually the sheriff who's a lady with big tits or whatever the thing is. And then you flip it over and, this is if it was a rookie type porn, right? And then you flip it over and on the back, it's all the different scenes you're going to see. And somebody would have cut all that stuff out.
Wow.
So they could take the picture home and go take care of their own business?
Take care of business.
Wow. That's cheaper than renting the video, I guess.
Okay. So it's the rookie. Does Nathan have the big tits?
Yeah, man. With great risk comes great reward.
Now, wait.
Wow.
Were you in New York in 96, 97?
I got to New York in 97.
I was there.
I think I just missed you. But you were still in New York, Alan.
I remember going to go see at a strip club. It was called the Den of Sin, and then no one took off their clothes. There was just some guy up there talking about airline flights and how difficult, how the peanuts they give you on airlines aren't enough or something.
Now,
I don't remember.
When you went back to New York, was it to get involved with the UCB?
100%. I wanted to do whatever it was they were doing because I was also really into improvisational comedy. And they did that as well.
Do you sign in? Do they just take anybody? Do you have to audition? What's that process?
They didn't have a school when I went out there. They were just like another group at that point. They were like just a group that did sketch and improv. They had
a show.
They got they went out there. They got a pilot for Comedy Central, and when I went out there, I started doing comedy sports with this group. With a lot of guys from a group called the Burt Ferschners, which is another sketch comedy.
I remember that name.
Yeah. Super funny group. Yeah, dude. Very funny group. Well, the Burt Ferschners and the Upright Citizens Brigade had a pilot the same year at Comedy Central. They went up against each other. And the Upright Citizens Brigade got the show, and the rest is history. Burt Ferschners, you know a lot of these guys. Chris Tallman, Chris Tallman's Burt Ferschner. Super funny group, and their show was really funny too. So that's when I came out. Was like that year.
I don't understand. If they're not a school yet, did you just come up to them and go, "Hey, I want to join you. I want to be a part of whatever you're doing"?
Like I said, I was doing this other show. I was doing I just wanted to like be in that world. I was like,
gotcha.
Whatever they're doing in New York, I want to be in that place.
But you eventually got into UCB. You eventually got in there with those guys.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, they eventually like started teaching workshops and stuff like that. But I was broke, so I wasn't taking anybody's workshop. So I really didn't even go through the classes until they started offering internships. Which was a while after they had kind of gotten up and running. But and then I worked. I basically worked at the theater all the way through all the courses.
Really,
this is the Hard Knocks. Like you could do it if you love it story.
Yeah,
do
a lot of people choose that path, the UCB path. Because they've got one in LA or two in LA. Right, there's like extra.
I mean, it's not the same as it was when I did it. I don't think that you could maybe intern for like a class, but they don't like.
Right.
Like not only was I interning, but at the end of the night, the manager, who's another actor, John Ross Bowie, he was my manager. He would be like, we'd take all the cash. He'd be like, okay, so at the end of the night, we take all the cash, we put in this envelope, and we put it in this drawer right here. Drawer and close it, and then we'd leave.
No lock on the drawer.
That doesn't sound very safe.
No, man, it wasn't safe, dude. And you're talking about strip clubs. The theater that they had was a former like burlesque strip club.
Oh, wow.
In the city. And so we, and I would be sitting there in the box office, and these guys would come walking in at night and kind of looking around. And they're like, so they're still doing shows here? And I'd be like, yeah, man. They're like, oh, okay.
Not the
praline working.
You like improv comedy, dude? Yeah. And they'd always take like way too many flyers. You're like, you're not gonna watch these videos. You're not thinking.
They're the same guys cutting out the photos on the back of the videos.
Oh shit! And the world changed for those poor guys.
Where then is your big break? What is the thing that, because now you're involved.
Still waiting for it, Nathan. I'm still waiting for it.
That's not true at all, because we haven't even got into your successes.
For it, baby.
Okay, so I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. We've been playing video games for some time. I go to a movie. I wish I could remember what movie. Two fellas approached me and said something only.
Was it the Mist?
Oh, I hope so. I loved that movie.
I think it might have been a Mist.
Two fellas come up to me and say something only a gamer buddy of mine would know to say to me. Code name, a little word or two, something we spend hours doing. And I'm looking at two fellas. One of them is Colton, and the other one is Jordan Peele.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Do you remember this day, Colton?
I do, totally, yeah.
Do you remember approaching me in a?
He spotted you. He goes, "Hey man, I think that's the guy we've been playing video games with."
Yes.
Jordan Peele played video games?
Yeah, he was one of our.
Yeah, for sure.
He was in the group in the beginning. He also dropped off pretty quick
because
after
I was living on his couch, so he didn't have a choice. There was
God bless him. I remembered Colton when we first met. We started hanging out. You were living in a house off of, was it Sunset?
Yeah, Camp Hollywood, Sunset and
Camp
Curacao.
Hollywood. It was a big old house. It reminded me of an old frat house. It was right across from a 7-Eleven. So you always had all the convenience you needed. There was a liquor store around the corner across a parking lot. There was
All
a
the
little
crime
liquor
you
store right
wanted
there.
was right there.
Yeah, coaching
Dropping
horses
off.
across the street.
Yep. And you and a bunch of buddies were just trying to make it work in LA. Just a bunch of guys just pushing and pushing to make something happen. It was very New York for me. That's a very New York East Coast attitude. I'm going to do this until it hurts. I'm going to work until I succeed. I'm going to suffer for my craft. I do this because I love it. It was so East Coast for me.
I think a lot of times that's why I feel a lot of times when New Yorkers come to LA, they do succeed a lot of times. Even though a lot of times because I feel like it took me forever to want to come to LA. When I was in New York, there was nothing that was going to get me to go to LA.
Right.
I thought that was whack. And so when I finally did, and then coming out though, you kind of do realize that it's in New York, you push so hard. And in LA, like the mildest inconvenience starts wearing on you because it's so nice here all the time, you know? So like, you know, if it rains, people don't even leave their house.
I have lots of theories as to why, but my personal experience was that people would go, and I was a young man, you know, trying to be an actor in New York. I went there with a job, so I was having a great time. But actors my age and kids my age went to New York to try and work, to say like, I am going to get a job. I am going to work. I want to act. I want to do this. Mm-hmm. And when I moved to LA, I found much more the fact was people came there because I want to be famous. And it was just a difference. There's a difference there, and it's pervasive. That was my experience anyway. But then where's the break? Where you are a writer, you're an actor, you're now a supervising producer. Where did it start, Colton?
Does it have to do with Jordan Peele? Because you did write on Key and Peele.
You did write on Key and Peele, and you performed in some of my favorite sketches on Key and Peele.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's that one about the town where everybody sings? Hey, that was a dark
Negro Town?
That would be the title that I couldn't come up with, but refused to come up with.
I would have thought that would have been on the tip of your tongue.
Yeah, I don't want to say it. But that was so.
The Texans' worst fear.
Yeah, it was not it was like like a lot of the sketches, not all of them, but I guess some of the sketches, it had a social punch in the gut, man. that one
It was,
at the end.
yes, it was phenomenal.
But
I want to know, who's the guy who says, Colton, here's the leg up. You're going to do this job now. This job's for you. You get the phone call. Where's the break that you turn to your friends and go, hey guys, I just got a gig?
I mean, you know, there's always, you know, there's a ton of those moments, right?
Yeah.
I feel like, you know, where those kind of things happen on different levels, you know.
Where's the one that you figure sends you over the edge? Was Key and Peele because that was a phenomenon. That show was a phenomenon.
Yeah, I mean, it was, you know, it did really well. You know, I don't know. I mean, I guess if you say like the biggest thing that I've done would be Superstore.
Yeah,
you know, as far as shows you know,
you acted in that. So people who know Superstore, did you write on that as well?
I wrote a couple episodes on it for sure.
Badass, man. That's
you know,
so
but
cool.
like, yeah, kind of going the writer route is so slow. And, you know, I don't know when there's different moments, right? So like I'll give you 3 really fun ones. All right. So here's the very first fun one is going to be the first time that I was on television, which was on Conan O'Brien.
Yes.
And that was I got a call from a buddy of mine, Andy Blitz, who was writing at Conan, and he was like, "Hey, I've got this bit, you know, I want you to do it, but you got to come in with the casting person and show them that you can do it." So I went in with the casting person, and you know, I had to go in it, and I had to she's like, "Okay, can you do some singing?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll sing a song." Or she's like, "Do a little dance." She's like, "All right, great, you can do this." The bit is that you know, it was the time when they're doing making a band, you know, like making a boy band kind of thing. And so Conan's gonna make his own boy band, right? And I'm gonna be in the boy band. I was like, oh, this is gonna be funny, it'll be real silly. And so I show up. Well, all the other guys were like real, like Broadway, you know, trained like dancers and stuff. And I was just this like dude who did improv. So they're like learning the choreographies and stuff. And they're learning it really quickly too. But that was my first big thing. So I'm in that, and you know, called Dudes Aplenty. So that was like the big, like, you know, and it was, you know, there are those things that you kind of like, you know, you get the sides for, and you read them, and you book it, and you get like, the Recruit, you know, where you know, I read it, and I went out and I booked it. And then there's times where somebody calls you up and is like, "Hey man, we gotta get you." And you know, those are always super fun. My second favorite one, and this didn't pan out to a show, but I guess this is one where it made me feel like I was doing the right thing. And this is years later. I'm writing at Key and Peele, and I had been doing playing the animal control guys on Parks and
Recreation.
Oh yeah.
And so
love that.
Parks and Rec is coming to an end, I believe at the time. And I'm coming home, and I had like gotten groceries or whatever and carrying them inside, and get a call from a restricted number. And in my mind, I'm like, oh gosh, okay, this is a bill. And in my head, I'm going, okay, you know what? I'd just done something with like Funny or Die, or, you know, and I had something else. I was like, you know what, whatever it is, I can pay it right now. So I'm just going to answer it and see what it is. I answered it, and it was Rob Lowe. And he's like, hey, Colton, this is Rob Lowe. And I'm like,
you owe me money.
I know. Oh shit. Stealing your groceries. And he was just like, hey man, you know, always think you're really funny, you know, in that thing. And I'm doing this other pilot. Would you do this pilot that I'm doing? And we and I did it. I did this like really super funny pilot. Oh, we should have gone. It was very funny. He played like a tennis pro, and I think, gosh, who was in there? It was Kevin Nealon was in it. He was hilarious.
Oh, yeah. So funny.
Rob Riggle.
Oh yeah, he's fantastic.
It was a super funny show. Anyway, those are always great, and I think that was the moment though where I was like, after that, it was a nice validation where you go, okay, well, all right, you may book this, you may not book that, but whatever you're doing, you know, people are willing to just call you up and try to get you into stuff,
right?
To get you involved, which is
you're
building
having both
a community.
Experiences. You're having your reputation because you're getting involved in comedy. You're doing as much. You're doing a lot. You're getting your hands on a lot. People that know you are calling you in for projects, and then you're also going out and auditioning for projects. I'm going to just, because I went through your IMDb, I'm going to prattle off a couple of your credits, the ones that I love: Angie Tribeca, Key and Peele, Matt TV, Parks and Rec, Superstore, Laser Team. Remember that one?
Yeah, man.
That's the one where you had the bionic legs.
Yeah.
That's right. Children's Hospital, which always kind of freaked me out, but I loved it so much. Remember Children's Hospital?
Funny.
Great show.
Here's some credits we share. Shows we've both been on. Crepopolis, The Kroll Show,
Oh, yeah.
Drunk History. We've both been on The Recruit, and we've both been on The Rookie. You were on The Rookie.
What? Oh, that's right. I played that guy who stole a tiger.
Yes, you were on The Rookie. We didn't get to do a scene together, so it's kind of I don't want to say wasted, but
I know. It's such a bummer.
But did you get to
super fun.
work with the tiger?
No, the tiger was completely added in later.
yeah,
Wow.
CGI.
I did get to drive. I did get to do some stunt driving.
Oh, that's cool. That's fun.
Yeah.
I have
That was awesome.
I'm going to interject. I do have a working with a tiger story.
Nathan remembers.
You know, guys, there was this one time, now that you mentioned tigers, there's all sorts of rules when working with the tiger, and they got some fellas there, and their concern is for your safety. Well, what we had was a situation where we had a giant deep freeze unit, and we took it, we stood it up on its end.
buddy.
Okay, we stood it up on its end, so it's like a massive refrigerator. It's big enough that we had a ladder put up. We put a camera guy up on top, and the focus puller next to him, and then standing next to him, again, upright on this freezer up on its end, is the fella who's training the tigers. He's got a stick with some raw chicken on the end, and the guy's up on top with the camera.
That's the red flag, man.
The guys up on top with the camera their idea is they have to film these tigers. There's two of them. They have to film these tigers circling the freezer down below.
Oh, I see.
So it's a perspective of a character on top of the freezer looking down at a circling tiger. The tiger then leaps up on top of the freezer with these three guys. Now, if you think there was a lot of space up there with three guys on it, if you think there's enough room for a tiger, you're wrong. But the tiger gets up there with these three guys on the end of the freezer. And he's up there, and the tiger trainer says, "Don't move." The focus puller, his name, we called him Super. His name was Super Dave. Absolutely frozen. He says, "Does that include shitting my pants?"
And that's why he's super. That was what was super about him.
Why he's super.
Lines like that. Wow.
Rest in peace, R.I.P. guys.
That is a lot of credits I just kind of rattled through. We got distracted. We're back on you. There's a lot of credits we've paddled through. You have a long and storied career. You're doing a lot of different things. You got on The Recruit, and while funny, you played a really intense dude who was not the sweetest, kindest individual.
No, man. Lester Kitchens was great.
That's a great name.
That was so exciting.
Lester
man.
Kitchens.
He put a guy in position to get captured and tortured.
Oh, yeah. He was a jerk. But you know what? It was so funny about him is that it was like, I had this kind of thing especially with Superstore, where my guy, he's kind of like, just kind of hangs in the back and doesn't have to do anything. Mm-hmm. And the first season, Lester is kind of trying to do that. And he's like, "Yeah, man, just don't make a lot of noise and we won't get asked to do anything." And in my head, I'm like, okay, interesting character. I see where it's going to go. And in my head, I'm like, wow, this means it's going to be an easy shoot. Lester doesn't fucking care.
But that wasn't the case.
But no, yeah. And it's like I keep getting more and more scripts. Is like, no, Lester's going back out of the field. Nope, Lester's getting chased down. No, Lester's got to fight this guy off with a gun. Wait, what's happening? He's supposed to be.
All of a sudden, Colton is an action hero. Cut to, I'm watching an episode of The Recruit where you guys went to Korea to film an episode or two or three. How many episodes did you do?
I don't, I don't know exactly how. Korea plays throughout the whole season.
Alexi Hawley tells me all about it. He says he has a fantastic experience. He said they're so incredible down there. They're so professional. They're always ready.
Cool.
They're ready to go. I'm watching a scene with you where you're walking down some sort of monument. There's incredible stairs, and it's an architectural, masterful wonder, a kind of outdoor area where you are being followed, and this guy is intently coming after you, and you're alone. It's nighttime, and then he comes around. You go around the corner. He comes around the corner, and he's looking for you, and he's like, "Where did he go?" And boom, out of the side, you come out of it, and it's action, and it's not like it's not very tidy fighting. It's a mess. It's two guys.
I got to do some of it.
Yeah, you were right in there. That was wonderful because I could see your face. It's not like,
Colton
that's
Dunn
taking a
does
stunt
own
double.
stunts. Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
How did that? Because you're usually the guy making jokes, being funny guy all the time, and now you're like dusting yourself off after like killing a man in a public
In Korea.
architectural wonder in Korea. What was that? That's certainly not your
what's
usual.
Really funny is you guys will probably you'll probably know this. There's a college that's north of Vancouver on top of like a hill or a mountain. Do you know this college, Nathan?
Keep going.
That's where I am in that scene. I'm north of Vancouver.
I thought you were in Korea.
On a college campus.
Oh, wow.
Well,
Vancouver for Korea. I was fooled.
I may be in North Korea. I may be in Korea in the
story.
Story.
Yeah,
I'm
definitely.
saying in the real world, that's just some school's campus.
I bet.
But how's the experience for Colton going from laugh a minute guy to I just had to choke out and kill this agent?
Well, look, but you know what? It was also for the jokes, because it was like I wanted to do it. I thought it'd be super funny. And I knew that it was going to be hard on me because, I'm not, a young guy anymore. And I'm just going to, and, there's this whole part of it where Lester also when this encounter happens in the story, he's been trying to just be a lawyer. He's kind of not been practicing his trade craft or any of that stuff. He's been, doing a whole different thing. And so, if you get a chance to check out the scene, you'll see that after the fight, Lester's completely winded.
Yep.
He is
acting
completely spent. And it's like, I can't believe I just made it through this. And that's 100% real.
That's so honest too. It was so rewarding and honest to watch. It's like he didn't get up and go, "That's right, I can handle everything."
No,
he was standing up and going,
not.
"That was the worst. That was the worst. I hated that." I'm so winded right now. Yeah. That was so satisfying to watch.
Cool.
It really, really was. Now, and here we are. We're coming up to. I've always been a fan of your work, Colton. Thank you very much for all you do. This next program that you are working on, I am beside myself with jealousy about every aspect of this show.
Sports with Kevin Hart and Keenan Thompson.
That's the one. Who calls you and says, "We have a show. It's called Widow's Bay"?
Oh boy, I know Katie Dippold from back at the Upright Citizens Brigade Theater back in New York at that little theater that used to be a strip club. We did we met out there and I think fairly shortly after we met, I think we did a show like at the same time at UCB where like they would pair different people's shows together. So she had a show and I had a show. And then she got hired for Mad TV. She moved out to LA. And then I moved out to LA. And then a year or two after that, got hired for Mad TV. And so then I met her working at Mad TV, and that's sort of where we kind of became good friends. And yeah, we've just always, our paths have always kind of crossed, and she's she loves Halloween. So like every Halloween is like, 30 days of, this is the hayride on this weekend and Universal Horror Nights. And there's a thing downtown where we're all going to do that. And she organizes it. She has a party at her house.
I respect
a super, super big Halloween party that is, most likely going to go fucking insane now.
So you are saying she's a funny girl who loves Halloween.
Yeah.
She calls you up and says, "Hey, I just pitched a show and they're gonna make it."
Yeah, she's like, I have the show, and sends me the script. And this is something she'd been working on for a while. But yeah, she had it there, and she was just like, "Do you want to come and would you want to do work on in the room on this? Because so right now we just have the pilot." And I was like, "Yeah, sure." Right, like I do a lot of that kind of stuff. Where it's like it'll be 8 weeks or 10 weeks or whatever. So this is, definitely, like I said, one of those moments, where it's like somebody kind of calls you out of the blue. Like I didn't submit a packet, Katie's known me a long time. When I came in to see what the makeup was, what the rest of the room was, you kind of figure out what your role is.
So they have the pilot. So they've written the pilot. They're gonna make this. They need more episodes now. They're putting together a room to write the rest of the season. And they call you in. How many writers are there?
Yeah, so I'd say 8 of us.
8 people. And here's something else I noticed: you don't just get a writing credit; they give you a supervising producer credit. That's typically something they do when they want to give you a little something extra. They want to make it attractive for you. They give you a title that's not. There's options for titles, and there's a hierarchy. Right. And you seem to have one that's up there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, one, I got to be honest that there is a hierarchy to those credits, but I don't necessarily know exactly what all that stuff means. In the real world, the way the show worked is all of the people, like, if you were to look at in the credits, the supervising producer, consulting producer, one might be story editor or something like that. Okay. These were all people that we were just in a writer's room together. So there's like the people that you'll see like, if you watch the show, it'll be like Katie Dippold and Hero. And then you'll see the people who sort of worked on the crew in production. And then you'll see other names that are just attached to sort of like, those weird titles. That was the writer's room. And then every writer wrote an episode. Katie wrote the pilot. She wrote the finale. But we all worked on all the episodes together and kind of talked through all of them together. And, so when you would, go off to write your episode, you kind of have a big outline of the episode that we kind of came together with in the room, with Katie and everybody there. So, one, that it's like, it gives every episode the opportunity to get as many eyes on it as possible. But also it, because all the writers do eventually go off to their own episode, to make sure that all the writers are on board with what's going on with, the story, especially with something like, with this story where it's...
Especially with the tone. Is there a meeting about tone as far as getting everybody on the same page? Because this is both a very funny show, but also scares the pants off me.
I think it's a dial that is kind of turned up and down throughout the process.
Yes.
Depending on where the material is, that, the editor almost gets that final tweak of the tone in that sense when it comes to something like this. Cause there's stuff in there where it, and I'm not saying this because I know this for a fact because I saw this stuff, but I'll just say that from my experience would tell me that there is stuff that they have that they got out while they were shooting that's scarier than they wanted to go. And then there's stuff, some stuff that on the page and stuff that they probably even shot that was funnier than it was when we saw it on screen. But you have to modulate everything, so like there's like certain bits, that'll occur in the show, or throughout the show, and running gags, stuff like that. And there's like this level of like, well, how many of those do we get away with before this becomes too, goofy, or
Right.
silly.
'Cause it's so funny.
And,
Yeah.
yeah. And it,
Well, you're doing
and
a great
also,
job. That must be a killer, having to negate something, having to pull back on something because it's you're having to modulate. That
I
must
don't
kill
have to
you
do
inside.
that, though. That's not my job. I'm like, I go in and I just try to make things funny as possible and as fun as possible. And then maybe if it's my episode, then I have to like do all that stuff. But that'll be, I think though the thing is, though, once you strike the tone, and what's fun about a show like Widow's Bay, and it was really there at the pilot, is that it's not really about trimming as much stuff back, because it's just like you just hit it. It just, and I think that's why people like it so much. Like I finished reading it, that night, and and messaged her immediately. It was like, I'm in, dude. I'm in. This is great. Pretty much, everybody involved that has worked with this, including the star of the show, like were like drawn to it because of how clear and it was right away. And I feel like that's why people like it so much, because like as soon as it starts, it's like it feels like warm soup, rainy day. Fucking, I'm gonna sit home and watch this mystery. Like
I also love they got this. I love this mayor who's the straight man living, like just the straight guy, right? He's just a normal dude living in a village of idiots. Like, everyone's an idiot, and he just goes, "Oh my God, just suffer." I'm so.
Are they? Or is he the idiot?
Well, listen,
Matthew
he is
Reese?
flawed for sure. He is flawed, clearly, but he is what makes it so wonderful for me is how he has to suffer through all these morons. I really now one of your episodes was the mushroom trip.
Yes,
that Matthew Reese takes. That was so rewarding because we experience it almost with him, where we just appear. We're in a scene. It's already begun, and he's suddenly appeared in a scene where he has no idea what's happening. He's in the middle of a conversation, but he doesn't know how he got there. We don't know how he got there. So we're in the same boat that he's in. It's very rewarding storytelling.
Well, writing drug stuff is the worst.
Interesting.
It sounds fun, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, man!" And then they trip out. But like when you're like, "Oh, but what does that mean to write it?"
Yeah,
is really tough. And we actually there are incarnations of it, versions where we explored what happened in the trips. But at one point when we landed on, actually he'll just cut, hard cuts to next situation, and we don't know what's going on. He's in a car, half a leg is out the door, one shoe is missing. There's music blasting. He's like, "What is this?" He goes inside, and the people are like, "Get back out of here!" So he's like, "Wait, what?" He wakes up. There's a dog leash on his arm. So it's like that sort of the moment of consciousness that you have when you're tripping, where you're like, "Holy shit, where am I?" And then you're like, "Well, what if we just hit that?" And I thought it worked so well, and it's creepy, and it is unsettling, especially when it's happening to the guy who, wants to be in control.
Right. That's
Alan, you spent an entire movie on a drug trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was fun. It was hard. It was also hard. That was with Frank. Frank Oz and I got together and sort of worked it out. Like, here's your trip. It's going to be up to here. Like, here's where you're speeding. Here's where you're coming down. Here's where it's more euphoric. Here's like, we did all of that. But there was a point where, and like, I was outside. It's like, and Simon is high, and looking around, and I was like, listen, I can't do that. I've just done it here. I did it here. I'm going to do it here. I need something else. I was like, what if I just, and what happens is I just go out. My head goes down and I completely, it's almost like that blackout. It's almost the same kind of thing. I just go out, and the three people who are standing with me like, the fuck just happened to him? Look, like they look around me like, is he still here? Is he with us? And then I pop back up and I walk out of the scene. So and Frank's like, yes, we needed something different. We needed to change it up. Perfect. And
it's the unpredictability, and like the unpredictability of drugs, I think that's the fun thing that you can capture in it, in the different levels of it. But I think it's always, a lot of times it's just that one thing of just like, whoa.
Yeah. Do you remember that Western that Charlize Theron did with the guy who does Family Guy, whose name is?
His name is Seth MacFarlane.
A Million Ways to Die in the West.
Thank you. Yes. A Million Ways to Die in the West. He goes on a drug trip there. He takes peyote. And the way they did it was, we're going to do VFX, see everything that he goes on a trip. And it wasn't funny, in my opinion. It was respectfully, you can't do it. You can't show crazy enough stuff. It's wild, but after, it's cool. There's a lot of moments where you're like, wow, that's neat. That's inventive. That's great art. But it's not as much of you're feeling what the character's feeling or whatever. The way that you guys did that, it was like blackout, and you're with the character again, where he's trying to catch up with his life and picking up, like you're talking. Why is this leash here? Wait, where's his shoe?
My favorite visual, and this is like, I wish we could have. This is just, hey, look, sometimes things happen, but there's a visual in the show where he, during the trip episode, so this is spoiler alert, but where we have an effect where a guy's wearing a mask of his face over his face. It's Jeff Hiller. And his face looks really creepy. And he's like talking, his lips aren't moving. He's wearing a mask of his face.
Right. And he's already an unusual looking guy.
Great guy. I love Jeff. Jeff, I love you.
But he does have a unique look.
He has such an interesting face, and then they make a mask of it, and he puts it on it, and then he talks in it. It's hilarious. And so I had, and that's in that episode, right? And so later in the episode, he's in that town hall meeting, and I had written that everybody had a mask of their face in the town hall meeting. And, and it's like one of those things where it's like we laughed about it over and over again, and we'd be laughing about it. But then, at one point while they're out there making it, and I was doing something else, I get kind of a text from Katie. It's like, hey, just going to let you know that one mask costs $10,000.
Yeah, exactly. For the 4 seconds they're going to see this.
30 people that are supposed to be in the room for a 3-second shot of people.
Everybody would have to go in for molds. Everything would. They'd have to paint them.
How many episodes in the first season? Was that 9 episodes per season?
10.
I believe there's 10.
10. Thank you. Now, what's that like? Do you write that in the dark? Do you write 10 episodes, send them out there to be made, and sit back and then watch everything happen? It happened so quickly. The popularity of that show, how the critical acclaim has come so quickly. Were you making shows while it was still airing, or had you made them all?
No, they had finished it all by the time it aired.
So what's that experience like? Just, it's all in the bank. You're sitting back and watching it happen. The success.
I've been done for what, like almost a year now. We finished that.
That money is spent, baby.
I spent that cash, Apple. So we got to go back to the table, baby. A few like Kelly and obviously Neil Casey, who was one of the writers, who's also on the show as the innkeeper. And
he's in a few episodes.
Amazingly talented dude, and just so funny. Like so much like someone just kind of just like the really like the very just rugged hometown, like that boat came in here on a boat. Something like that. It's like a very Neil Casey thing. But so those two, some of those people went along while they shot the show. But, for like, me, there's a guy named, Bopek, Mackenzie had another show that she went on to, that now she's show running. Like, so other people kind of just go off and, did you do other stuff? And then I think Katie had a party a few months back and was like, oh, do you want to see, like the trailer? And I got to see like the trailer like the week before it came out. And I was like, and that's when I saw the trailer. After the trailer ended, I was kind of like, this is going to be good.
Yeah.
Because it's so creepy, And
Is there a text thread that you guys have that starts lighting up with all the critical reviews coming in and the rave?
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Everybody. I mean, because we have, we have a text thread, obviously, and everybody's like, but the funniest thing that people are sending is more of the fan art that people are making because like everybody's like, people are making like T-shirts with Patricia's head on it and like, pamphlets. You guys know about this stuff the most, and I feel like that's kind of what, I don't think. It almost seems like Apple isn't prepared for the type of fan that this kind of show has now brought out and is gonna bring out the type of fandom that they create.
Right.
Where it's like people they just don't want it to stop. They want more and more, and they want to wear all the things. They want to know all the lore. They want to have an almanac about the book, about the island. They want to have they want everything. And it is, it's kind of one of those like world building shows that like people just dive into. And
I think you could make a bundle selling those paintings with the stormy water with the one kid reaching for.
Dude, you have no idea. And dude, the paintings. Oh man. The fun thing is we did get picked up for season 2. That's the good news. The bad news is there are a lot of like fun ideas that if they hadn't picked up the show, I probably could have told you about. But you'll have to wait until season 2.
I don't want to know because I am Colton. I am such a fan of this show. Like I said, I am jealous of everyone on it. I am so jealous every time I see your name in the credits for that thing. I know I've been texting you about it. I'm beside myself. I've got the best job in the world. I'm so very, very happy. I'm jealous of you.
I'm blown away by
Matthew. It was
Matthew
very
Reese.
sweet getting the text. And, I think that's like one, when you've lived out here for this long and, you get like texts like that, it means so much, like, oh, people want to text you. But 2, you're like, wow, man, everything else I did must have been shit.
Yeah, terrible. We've really been waiting. We're all sitting in the back going like, oh,
And
we're
that
on a hit for Colton.
the season 3 Superstore premiere.
That's how an artist's mind definitely. That's the calculation artist mind does immediately. You get a bunch of praise. You're like, well, what about my other shit?
Yeah, no, that's the cold hard honest truth. When I got The Rookie, my niece said, Nathan, you're on a show. You're finally on a show I actually like. I said, I've been on TV since before you were born. She said, I know. Is there anything that you are afraid of?
Oh, just full stop? Anything I'm afraid of?
Yeah. I'm afraid of heights.
I mean, tyranny, general.
You have
tyranny,
you don't have any jump scare fears.
I don't have any. You know what? I mean, what's weird is it has changed, and I 100% credit. My daughter and all my kids. Really, my daughter was my first kid, but just having children has made me less scared of bugs in things. Because I have been now in situations where normally I would have been like, oh, a spider, but I can't do it now because there's a child there. So I've had to you learn that muscle, that emergency responders have to learn that to shut off that panic response and react logically and move towards the danger.
All right. Nice.
Yeah. So I'm a machine now. No, but a very large, like a bug, like more than an 2-inch large bug.
Okay. Well, 2 inches is big. That's a big bug right now. I'm going to tell you right there.
It's a big bug, dude.
Before we wrap this up, I told you I was only going to keep you for an hour, and I'm already over time. But I'm going to hit this one last segment of our show that Alan invented at the very beginning. We like to call "Let's Get to Know You Better."
I know you and you know me. Let's get to know you better.
This is the part of the show where we tell each other something we don't know about one another. If I were to see a spider in my house, I would get a tissue, I would gently scoop that thing up, and I would set it free. I found a black widow in my house. I was very gentle. I scooped it up. I have a little device that you can put a little cage over top of it and slide a plastic dish, a little plate underneath, and you can take the bug out and dump it out in the garden. So I'm equipped to evacuate. But if the spider surprises me, if I go, if I do that, I'm offended. I will probably kill the spider.
Like if it does like that frog thing from the Warner Brothers cartoons, like, hello, my baby, hello, my honey. Hello,
that's more shock and awe. Like, oh my God, it's singing. I'm thinking more like a
cool down. Like, how long does it take before how long does the spider have to evade you before you go, what am I doing? I'm not going to kill this spider.
I mean, I'm thinking of one instance where I was laying on the couch and I had my iPad kind of rested on my chest. I was kind of reading it, and a spider came up and over the top of the iPad, and your hands are on the iPad holding it. I could feel the drumming of its little padded legs. It was a big spider. It was a pretty good sized spider. Well, and it came over and it's looking me eye to eye. I threw the pad. I jumped up. I don't know where it landed, but I'm certainly not concerned about its safety.
Its eyes died.
I'm hoping it died in that little altercation we had. But if it's in the cupboard, it drops. If something like come dingling right in front of me, it's got to die for offending me with fear. It's not something I choose to do. It's something that kind of happens.
They're good eating. You got to just to make sure you use every part of that. If you
that's
have
just
to kill
about
it,
me. That's just me. Now you know me better.
That's just how do you. Don't
That's how I do me.
All right, here's mine.
Okay.
Getting that you don't know about me. When I was a kid, like young, but still maybe just a little too old for this, like 10, 11, 12, electric guitars and songs made my stomach hurt. I was a sensitive little kid. Like, I just didn't like electric guitars. I'm like, can't we just put on some?
Was it a taste thing? Like you didn't like them, you just didn't like the sound of them, and it culminated in a stomach ache, or the actual vibration hurt your tummy?
It just made me feel crummy. Like certain songs, especially, made me feel terrible. You know that song, "Green-Eyed Lady, Passion Lady," which is a soul kind of groove. It's all kind of off notes and stuff. I just get a stomach ache and be like, I can't turn it off.
You would not have survived in my house. My brother had Def Leppard Pyromania on repeat, really loud. That's all he would listen to. You would have died. You'd have died.
Yeah. I like Neil Diamond for way too long. I like Paul Simon. I like Barry Manilow. I've said too much.
Barry Manilow.
I've said too much. I like Jim Croce.
Now what happens when you hear those songs?
I love a lot of music. There's very few songs that make me just go, ugh, get that off. I can now it's like new country. I can't. That's the one thing that just makes me feel shitty.
Country, I have a hard time.
I feel dirty. Old country's pretty great. Now I'll put up a song. You know what? Here, I do this. I announce a song. I know we're in another thing, but this is another thing inside of a thing. It is the song that I'm going to suggest is Willie Nelson. I feel like he's.
Oh, this is What Are You Listening To?
Yeah, this is what. Yeah, so this is some.
This is What Are You Listening To?
What are you listening to? What are you listening to inside of the other thing, which is cowboys are frequently here. It's called Cowboys Are Frequently Secretly Fond of Each Other. That's the song. That's what I'm listening to. That's a country song if you like it, but you're like, I don't think I see eye to eye with country. Listen to Willie Nelson sing the song Cowboys Are Frequently Secretly Fond of Each Other. It's very funny. It's got a novelty sense to it. All right, and that is also the conclusion of my getting to know me. Hey, Colton. What are you?
Hey.
What's up with you? What are you?
What do we need to know about you? What can we learn about you that we don't know, Colton?
Oh man, I was King Frost of the St. Paul Winter Carnival in the early 1990s.
King Frost.
How do you get that position?
I lied. A buddy of mine named Joe. He goes by Joe now, but back then his name was Joey. He said that they were doing some interviews for people for this beauty pageant thing, and they're giving out free pizza at this park. And so we went over there to get the free pizza, and then one at a time they brought all the kids in to interview us. And I just lied. They were like, "What do you like to do?" And I'm like, I do a lot of babysitting. And I said I babysat. And, my mom, had worked, in sort of special education department at the school. And I was like, yeah, I babysit for like the special ed kids at my mom's school. And
hand me another piece of pizza. Hand me another piece. I'll tell you this story.
Yeah.
These are all very kingly qualities.
And so I say all that, and then we leave, and I'm like, haha, we got all that pizza, and I don't think anything of it. And then both me and him get in. They send us invites, and they're like, you guys have been invited to the coronation, because you went to this thing. And we're like, oh, that's hilarious, And so we're invited to another thing where we have to go to, and they brought everybody up on stage, and and we're kind of standing there, and this guy comes and walks out, and he's going to bow in front of the person who is going to be the new king of St. Paul Winter Carnival.
King Frost.
Yeah. And I'm like up there with my buddy Joe, and we're like, making like fart noises and shit, and like,
well, after all that, cheese
just kind of like laughing, and the fucking guy gets in front of me and like kneels down and bows.
Oh my goodness.
And for a year, I would go to like parades and like wave and shit.
For a whole year?
Yeah.
That's King Frost.
King Frost, baby.
This is amazing. I've known you for a very long time. I had never known you were royalty.
Yeah.
Brilliant,
St.
man.
Paul Winter Carnival royalty, baby.
Well, I don't know where Joe is now, but Joe, room for improvement.
Yeah, Joey's doing great. Big Joe.
He's doing good. He could have been a king.
I think so. He could have been. You know what though? That he did get in it as well.
Oh.
He was. I think he was the east. There was like the north, south, and east winds or something. North, south, east, and west winds. So there was like 4 people who.
Yeah, but he got that crosstown wind. You don't want that. You want the north south.
I think he hooked up with my queen.
Oh.
Yeah. Joey was a hound.
Joe.
He's a little dog, man.
Colton, I've enjoyed your company for decades. Thanks for doing this, my friend. And
yours. I gotta get back online. I gotta get rid of these kids.
You do. You don't play as often as you used to, but that's okay because we know you're a family guy. We know you got kids going on. Preparing for this little chat, I'm just looking at your long list of success. Well done, man. Just
thanks,
plugging
man.
away at the beginning, struggling through, and then I see such a huge list of successful pieces of wonderful entertainment that I've enjoyed for decades.
Well, here's to longer lists, right, boys?
There we go.
Longer lists, guys. Thanks for coming, Colton. Thanks for doing this.
Of course, homie. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of Once We Were Spacemen. And even though now we are still spacemen, we're going to land this baby on a planet that looks like it is hospitable to life. Our life, oxygen breathing. My God, it's Earth.
I think that went well. It's Colton says he loves to laugh, and that's absolutely true. He loves that guy's an easy laugh.
Yeah, man. It's amazing to me, I know that I'm in the business and you're in the same business, but like, when Colton was like, I love how he mentioned that he's like, I got that call from Rob Lowe and I was like, oh, good. I think I'm going to make it in this business. I think I have enough of of a community of people who are professionals, who are interested in what I'm doing, that I have a support system and I'm going to be able to make it in this business. Whereas, like, my God, you were writing for Key and Peele. That's made it. In my mind, you've made it. That's the top.
Right.
That's the top. You know, and you're on Conan, and you're on all these shows. Like, but I think it's a misperception to people out in the world. It's like, if you're doing these great shows and these things, you're a millionaire and you're made. You're a made man.
Right.
And it's not true, especially in writing. These are jobs. This is a community of just workers working for a paycheck. And once that job's done, it's gig work. We need another job.
But I do love what you said about it's not just about talent. God, I know so many talented people, but it's about the relationships you nurture along the way. It is about the community that you gather.
Yep. And he's gathered one. And we're part of it.
Yeah, that's true. We're in it. I'm glad for it.
All right, man. Well, until next time.
Wrap it up.
Wrap it up!
Thank you for listening to Once We Were Spacemen. If you haven't yet, head over to our Patreon to get bonus content, longer episodes, and a chance to take home some incredible crap. And if you love the show, please leave us a review and tell your mates. Once We Were Spacemen is a Collision 33 production. The show is produced by Michelle Chapman, Siobhan Homan, and Josh Levy of Collision 33. Production services are done by Rabbit Grin Productions, and the theme music is of the minds of Carla Sosa and Joshua Moore. And then there's the artwork, created by me, Louis Jensen, aka Sprayin' Bricks, aka Ghost Painkiller. And yeah, this is a true, real, authentic South London accent, so don't get it twisted, Nathan. Allow it, bruv. Stay blessed. Until next time.
He's the idiot.